Okay, so I decided I was going to finally beat the early Lavos Ocean Palace battle, and this is me after doing all the preparation. The first form of Lavos only does destruction rains from the heavens, followed by the Chaotic Zone, and then a Needle attack that does high physical damage. All three of these attacks are considered physical, which is why I am using these barriers that I ground up on everyone. The first goal is to make sure everybody's always topped off on HP, and the second goal is to make sure everybody gets Protect up. If you do the Fiona side quest, you can buy the Vigil helmets that will grant you the ribbon effect from old Final Fantasy, so like immune to all status effects, which makes the Chaos attack that makes everybody confused way more manageable. So now that everybody's got shield, all the damage that is being done now is going to be reduced by 33%, making this way more manageable. So you'll see that I'm using Luminaire with Chrono. It does that of all the things he can do, that's the most damage he can do, because I particularly spec'd him for magic. I used every magic tab I had on him to get his magic as high as possible. My preferred team is Ayla and Marl, but Marl has a little bit more trouble surviving this first form, especially if she is hit by that single physical attack. So I was like, I'll just take Robo and Frog for the mass AoE heals that will always make it so that destruction rains from the heavens can be easily undone. Like, I think right there you saw Chrono was less than 300 HP. I think as far as the first form is concerned, that's the lowest anybody even gets. And I will say I probably ground too much for this, or grinded, whatever the past tense of grind is. And that's unfortunate. What I did is I grind until everybody hit max HP, even Moral. So, yeah, that was probably a little too much. I think if you're using shields and barriers, you can probably do this at a much lower level. I think everyone's 60-ish. Let's see, what else? Chrono, I got the Swallow, not for the attack, despite the fact that Swallow is a really good weapon, but it's not for the attack. It's the fact that it gives him 3 speed, and that with like just a few speed tabs will actually cap out his speed stat to the like star, letting you know that it can't be any higher. I think it's 16. And that's really important here for deep seeing down the first form. You can see it's doing a lot of damage too for like a AoE attack, so that's good. And you'll see if I don't need to heal, I'll have Robo pop out a shock. And I don't think I think the only thing I did with Frog was heal. Like, if it wasn't part of the dual tech with Robo, it was just manually healing himself, like a single target. But as like, and like, I feel like I should have attempted this way earlier, because this feels incredibly safe. This feels free, especially with Robo and Frog being able to at any point top off everyone's HP. That was a big boon for this. Since Lavos is literally on a script where it's literally destruction rains from the heavens, Chaos Zone, and his needle attack, and repeated, it's an incredibly predictable fight. So the only like randomness in it is the fact that you don't know who he's going to target with the single target attack that he does. But as long as you have Protect up, it will be fine. I will say that, in fact, if you look right now on the left-hand screen, you can see that Protect has fallen off of Robo. This is a very beneficial part of the DS version, because in the other versions, you actually don't know when things fall off. So, like, you can just glance over and know that, hey, I probably need to get a shield back up on Robo. You can see that Frog has re-raise. That's because I gave him the green dream. I thought just for in case something happens and he goes down, it would help, keep the steam going. But with that, the end of this form should come soon. I do believe this version is different from the version that you fight if you take the bucket, or if you fight him at the end of the Black Omen. Maybe more HP or something, I can't remember. But it does take a wee bit longer to get through. And I'll let you watch this, and we'll come back at the end of this phase. Okay, so phase 2. So the dialogue that these characters share are the same if you fight him regularly, so there's nothing special there. And this is where I change out for Marl and Ayla. This was my original favorite team back in the day. They have a very strong single target triple tech, and Marl obviously has some heals. Ayla is an amazing physical character, and Chrono is just, I mean, he's Chrono. He's literally the best character in the game. You know what? Honestly, maybe not. I might be able to like argue Robo for his utility, but anyways. So same setup. Everybody has hats that prevent status ailments, which is important. Because even this form has the ability to cast Chaos Zone, so you want to make sure that that is covered. When we start off, the first thing you want to do is take out both arms, and the very first attack, this attack right here, is he always opens with that. But anyway, we're gonna work on getting both the hands, and the interesting thing about both those hands, it's they have different HP values. You can end up killing the left one before you would kill the right one. And that's important because when one dies but one remains, Lavos has the ability to remove your ability to protect against status ailments, even if you have like a hat or something that prevents status ailments. So, like, really kind of gross. That's a thing. It's like, oh, I see you have the ability to resist all the status ailments. Let me just take that away. But yeah, you're going to see that I have swapped from using barriers or from shields to barriers, because majority of the attacks he does are magically based. He does have some physical attacks, but for the most part, they're all magic. So we're going to just, try to reduce that as much as possible. Especially since Ayla has very, very low magic defense in comparison to the rest of the cast. But at this point, we should see one of the arms. Yep, there it goes. Fine. And I see that, clock that. I'm like, okay, we want to make sure to get that right arm down ASAP, because we do not want it to disable anybody's ability to resist status ailments. And the heal is good. We want that. We prefer that. And that should be it for that arm. Yep. Okay. And so I forgot. I was like, all right, let's deep this dude down. He has to like reduce his defenses first, which I forgot about. And I'm like, oopsie doodles. This is the Chaos attack or Chaos Zone. It's called Dark Will, but it's the exact same attack. So we're going to wait. No, we're not. Did I? Oh, it's Dark. I think Dark Will might be the indicator that. See, look at that damage, though. That is insane, Dan. You wonder why I like this group, man. They just got all Another thing is, once I topped off Chrono's speed, I used the rest of my speed tabs to try to get Robo and Frog around the same speed so that they could, in tandem be able to heal. And I also dumped the rest into making sure that I got Marl and Ayla up as well. So while Chrono fills up faster than anybody else, hopefully Marl and Ayla will catch up around the same time to do Final Keg. And at this point, it is just a matter of making sure that HP doesn't get too low and final kicking when applicable. It is worth mentioning as well that your whatever state you're in this fight, by its end, like HP value and MP, those stay. So it's a good idea to try and be at max HP when you end this fight so that you're in a better situation for the third and final form. And honestly, this might be it. Yeah. All right, so final form Lavos. If you're not aware, there is a trick to this fight. The actual boss is the right pod, not the center. Once the right pod is dead, the fight's over. Another thing, you'll be noticing that I'm throwing up barriers again. You will know that Lavos has 2 ultimate attacks. One is physical, one is magical. It's kind of a crapshoot guess at which one he's going to use in the fight. But I think most of the attacks are magical in nature, so I'll just dedicate to barrier. Because, screw it. If the ultimate physical attack lands, then the only one who's really at risk there is Marl, but for the most part, it's fine. So, generally, you want to make sure that once the left or center pod are gone, the right pod will eventually lower its defense, because right now you can't do any real damage to it. And I usually like to take out the left pod because it has less HP, and it has the ability to heal. So what I'll do is I usually take that out, and then I was considering working on killing the center pod, or the center core, but the problem is that those are turns that you're wasting killing something that's coming back when you could be attacking the right core. There's the ultimate physical attack, and remember I got barrier, so this is going to hurt. Yep. So you see that Marl survived with 21 HP. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? People are a little low on MP anyway, so let's just elixir up. And so that was literally the worst attack we have to worry about here. So instead of dedicating all my time trying to kill both the cores and then hit the right core, is I'm mostly going to only hit the center core if the right core has defense up. Otherwise, I'm just gonna like try to blast them away with final kick. So I have 10 elixirs that I got from beating Specchio in his like Masamune form. No, wait, was it Masamune? Yeah. He's got 10 elixirs, and I'm not even gonna have to use all of them. So here's the attack to inflict slow, but we're wearing the helmet that prevents status effect, so it's fine. It's funny, if you remember the LP I did of this with SK back in the day, he did the random status effect twice, and both times it was triple stop on the entire party, which was immediate game over. So, and the way I got around that was taking Marl, Chrono, and Robo, who has a triple attack that gives re-raise to everybody. Just to not even worry about that. But anyway, so left pod down, right pod probably going down here in a minute, watching for the, oh, there we go. There's the, so reducing everybody's HP by half, a quick way to fix that is just to use 2 Lapis. When I was grinding in the Ocean Palace, just about every fight was dropping Lapises. So bam, and oh yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead. I guess I'm getting a little. See, this is why I thought I was like a little too high. I feel like, aside from that one time when Marl had 21 HP, like no one ever went down. So like, I feel like this is on the easier side of what should have been incredibly difficult. So I would recommend maybe going in at like level 50 instead of like 60. Random status effects, not going to work. I should have final kick there. And I'm also trying to weave in some haste. You know, the buffs in this game do stick around for a good while, so it's a good idea. Defense is restored, so don't worry about that. And that should get everybody up on haste. So now I should be able to... the left core is probably going to come back in a second, but like with haste up, I should be able to get several final kicks in. And they should still be doing about 4k. Yep. Ultimate magic attack should be negligible because we've got barriers. Oh yeah, nothing. Nothing. Hit him again. That should also be negligible. Yeah. And Ayla is running out of MP. But at this point, it's just easier to throw an elixir. Okay, so the next time we kill the left pod, and I think the right's also, or the center's about to die, and that should pretty much give us free will to just deeps down the right pod and close this out. Done. High ether on Ayla. And now we should be, or elixir, should be free to final kicking to death and win. Oh, no, that was it. And that is how you beat Chrono Trigger, the Lavos fight in the Ocean Palace well before you're actually supposed to beat the game. You may be wondering, what do you get? What ending do you get for beating Lavos when you're not supposed to in the middle of the game? I'd say middle. This is like 75%, not including optional stuff. It's a good waste of the game, but it's still well before post-game. But you are rewarded with the special developer ending, which is the first one you can get if you fight Lavos at the absolute earliest opportunity in New Game Plus. And we're going to jump ahead, because I'm not going to sit there and make you watch all that. Here's the developer room. And fucking rip. Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. Absolute fucking legend. Absolutely cannot overstate his impact on this world. Like, man. Like, all the content he made back in the day was such formative. And it's such a formative time for my years. Like, man. Also, Nobuo Uematsu. Big shout out to Nobuo. And all the amazing tracks he's made. And here's the joke credits. This isn't sped up. They actually give you the fast credits. Now, interesting note. You unlock, in the DS version, these are the post-game dungeons. You unlock these when you beat the game normally. And, I think it's actually interesting that you unlock these beating Lavos early before the end of the game. Like, it is possible to unlock this content before the end of the game. Now, you do unlock New Game Plus mode. For beating the game, which is fine, which is cool. But yeah, I thought it was really interesting that you still unlock the post-game content when you're very much mid-game. But I thought, hey, a little bit of bonus content for you guys. You'll notice that this is way, way, way back earlier in the game when you first get to the end of time. Another thing that at least I don't remember doing, I probably have done it, but I thought at least I'd show it. If you manage to get to the end of time with somebody in the party at level no higher than level 9, then you achieve the frog version of Specchio. And I will say that it is actually pretty difficult to get here at level 9. I fought only the fights that you had to fight. I didn't run from anything, but I did fight the fights that you pretty much are required to fight. And you saw right there that, the other Robo comes in at level 10, so he's already disqualified from making it here at 9. But the other characters just barely made it, right? Like, even at the Guardian fight in the future, Marl didn't even have aura. Like, I actually had to go through majority of this without a healing spell. So here is Specchio in his frog form. So you rarely see this. And he's also a complete pushover. But little trivia on the side, Specchio is the Italian word for mirror. Now, if you know how Specchio works, is that he gets stronger as you get stronger. So he changes into stronger and stronger enemies as you level up. Like I mentioned that I fought him at the Masamune form to get the elixirs. But if you take somebody, if you take a team in here when somebody is level 99, he takes on the new form, and that actually is the hardest fight in the game. And I've done that several times. I will say that I don't like this in the DS version, because Luca alone gets an armor. Only she can wear it, so that's at least some restriction. But only she can wear it, that it eliminates all elemental damage, and Specchio only does elemental attacks. So in the DS version, you can make it the easiest fight in the game because he can't kill you, and that feels a little cheap. But yeah, just a few spells, and I think he only got one spell off, and he's already done. Yay. And that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.